Hey, welcome back to Rhino 101. In this video, we are going to look at all the surfaces, each one built with a different method. By the end, you will know every way to create surfaces in Rhino. So stay with me, let's jump in. So I'm going to start with the most simple surface you can create, and that is plane. It wants me to set the first corner of plane, so I can type 0 to say I want to have the first corner of my plane in 0, 0 coordinates. And I can press enter and I can set the other corner, or I can set the length. For example, I can use coordinate 2, 3. This is the first way to do it, and you can use your mouse, and also you can specify lengths. For example, I want this to have the length of 5. Length is in X direction, and I press enter. And width, you can press enter again to use that 5, or you can type a new value like 4. Plane command is very similar to rectangle. So if I use rectangle command, I can create one, and then I can use the next command for creating surfaces. Planar surface. If you have a planar curve, you can convert it to a surface. So if I press enter, it will convert my rectangle to a surface. And you can have a more complicated curve like this and use that command. But if your curve is not planar, for example, I create a curve and I will move these 2 points a little to up. So this is not planar anymore. And if I use PlanarSrf, it tells me curves must be closed and planar. So if you have an open curve, you can't use this command again, and you have to close curve and use PlanarSrf command. The next command is Loft. For example, you have this rectangle here, and you copy this and scale it to be something like this. And then you can use Loft. So select this and this curve and press enter. You can change the directions of these arrows by using flip. And you can use automatic to set them automatically. So this direction is good. I can press enter and we have some options here for Loft. I just use these default options for now to keep it simple, and I click OK. So we have this pyramid shape surface using Loft. The next command I want to show you is sweep. For example, you create a rail like this, and you create a circle, and you can use a round curve. Select your curve, click here to specify the center of circle, and type the diameter or radius. So I will type 0.5, and then you can use sweep. The first command is sweep 1. We use it for now. Select your rail and select your sweep shapes, and now press enter. You can skip this part, press enter again. And now you have a pipe like this. We can copy our railing and we will create new shapes. This time I will use rectangle. So I will choose this option. I will select my curve, click here, and this is good. Now I want to use another shape. For example, here. I will scale it like this and like this, for example. And I copy this again and place it here. So I can use sweep 1 command again, select rail. You don't have to press enter, you just have to select sweep shapes. Select the first one, you can select more, the second one and the third one. And now press enter. Skip this part, press enter. So as you see, we have this shape. Click OK. I can Ctrl Z. So I should copy this to end of my rail. I enable center, so I can select my center of rectangle to copy from and copy it here. I use sweep 1 command again. I use this and select these and press enter. So you have something like this. But what about sweep 2? I can again copy this and use one of my rectangles But this time I will move it here and I will copy this. I will disable center snap. I'll copy it here. So we need to change this a little bit. I move it like this. So we have two rails. So I will type sweep and select sweep 2. So this is my first rail. This is my second rail. It wants me to select 2 rails. And you can select your shape or shapes if you have more than one. I just have one. So I will choose this and press enter. Skip this part and press OK. So you have a surface, actually a poly surface like this. You can select them and use cap to convert them to a closed poly surface or a solid form. But I will use Ctrl Z because this episode is not about solids. In the next episodes, we will talk about that topic too. The next command I want to show you is revolve. So we need to create a curve like this. So type revolve and press enter, select this curve and press enter again. And it wants me to set my revolve axis. For example, start is here and end is here. And it wants me to specify the start angle. 0 is good, so I will just use enter. And for revolution angle, 360 is good. So I will press enter again. And we have this shape. The next command is extrude. We used it before. For example, if I have a poly curve like this, it can be an open curve or a closed curve. So I will copy this and I will close curve. So you can extrude curve, and because this is an open curve, it will extrude it like this. You can specify your extrusion distance. For example, I use 1 and press enter. But for this one, if I use ExtrudeCrv again and I press enter to use 1 for extrusion distance again, it will create a solid form for me. So I can use Ctrl Z and I extrude it again, and I can disable this solid option and press enter. So we have this poly surface. And of course we can use cap command. For my next command, I need a network of curves. So I use polyline and I copy this. So these are in different heights, and I use interp curve like this. And for example, I will copy this here and here. And I can use network surface. So select all of these curves and press enter. So you can have this, or you can even make it more complicated. For example, if I move this here and move this here and use edit PT on to move these points. You can use network surface again and select all of this again. So this is a more complicated surface. The next command is SrfPt. You should just pick a point, for example here and here and here. You need at least 3 points and at most 4 points. So here you can press enter to have a triangle, or you can set your 4th point. I will just press enter and I can repeat this command and set 4 points. For the next command, for example, I will use something like this. So this is not a planar curve, but if you use patch command, you can select your curves, and also you can select points, but here we use curves, and press enter and use preview option. And here you can have a surface that fits your curves, and you can increase or decrease U spans and V spans. For example, I will choose 6 for U and 10 is good for V spans. I select preview again and press OK. So it's not 100% fits or curve. You can increase your V spans and U spans to increase the accuracy, but it's good enough. That's it for today. In the next video, we will cover editing surfaces more advanced, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please leave a like and drop your questions in the comments below. And for project collaborations or any help, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. See you in the next one.